Madam Madeline, the floor is yours. You may start now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, students. Hello, teachers. Hello, lecturers. And hello, parents. Thank you very much for taking your time to join us in this sharing session on wow factor of Muet Top Scorer. A warm welcome to all of you. How are you feeling today? We hope you are all well and ready for the session. Before we proceed, please introduce yourself by stating your name and where you're from on the live chat box. To begin with, I am Madeline Liu from College Matrikulasi Negeri Sembilan, KMNS, the moderator of the day. And together with me today is Madam Chia Ying, our control host, who is also an English language lecturer of KMNS. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's world, English has taken the center stage and became more significant in today. It opened up to the opportunity for employment, and English language helps to establish real connection with people at the same if function as a tool. It is known fact that it is a language of science, aviation, computer, diplomacy, and tourism. In this 21st century, the extensive use of social media platforms has further boosted the importance of English language in communication via printed media and the internet. Whether it is used for professional or personal reason, understanding the importance of English will help you reach your goals. So, how do we improve our English proficiency? It is such a great pleasure to have Mr. Chan Ziyi, who is also known as Z in short. Being the only child in the family, Z speaks fluent English, Bahasa Melayu, and Mandarin. He is the only child of his family. His favorite pastimes are traveling, reading, and being involved in sports and events. He's 21 years old and he's currently pursuing his degree in biohealth sciences at University Malaya. During his time in matriculation, he had excelled in academic as well as co-curricular activities. Z had an outstanding achievement in Malaysian University English Test Muet. Not only he had attained band 6 for his Muet, he also received the national Muet Top Scorer for Session 3 2018. And now, it is really an honor for us to have him here to share his tips on how to master a good English. We are now live on my YouTube channel, Medi English. Please stay tuned until the end. So, without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Chan Ziyi.
Hello everyone, I hope you all can hear me. Good day to all of you. And thank you to Madam Madeline for holding this session. I'm very excited to speak and to share my experiences with all of you, and I hope we can learn from each other by the end of this session.
Okay. Z, the time is yours.
All right,
You can
thank you,
start
madam.
now.
Okay, so start off with the first slide. I'm going to talk to you all about the theme. The theme of my talk today is going to be about English matters. And throughout the next half an hour, I will do my best to run you all through the tips and tricks that I've actually learned to improve my proficiency in English throughout my many years in studies and how we can actually apply these methods in daily settings for ourselves and also our close ones. It doesn't matter if you're a student or you're a parent and you're looking forward to improving your child's proficiency. I will do my best today to actually share with you all some of my tips and some of my methods. So can I have the next slide, please? All right, so I think most of us are here today because we want to actually know more about how to excel in English. As a matter of fact, I myself am still learning how to how to have the best version of the English language, how to learn the best version of the English language, and how to actually excel at my level. So I think most of us will start to realize as we move on into higher education, we will realize that the importance of English language cannot be denied lah. We will be having a lot of interviews, we'll have a lot of presentations, we will have to write a lot of thesis, a lot of essays, and whether in a capacity of a student or a parent, we will always want to look forward towards improving our English language. So for me, I think nurture played a big role in my early formative years. I was fortunate to go through an early education that was based on English, that was helped me form my foundations in English language. And parents, I want you all to take note that the earlier we start, the earlier we actually gain efficiency. You could say it's sort of a platform, an early boost. However, it's not mean that people who start later are at a disadvantage, because this nurture, this form of improvement, progress, it can come at any stage in our lives. Knowledge is something that is not early gets later, but it is more of a lifelong kind of thing where it is heavily dependent on our own hard work and commitment. So let's move on to the next slide. So what I'm going to share with you all today is going to be divided into 3 segments about how I formulated my foundations in English, how I learned from a very young age, how my parents helped me at a very young age to develop my skills in English aside from the other languages. And next, I'm going to talk about the process. What was the work? What was the effort? What did I actually have to do to achieve what I did back then, and what I'm still doing right now as a student, as a learner, and in English and in other aspects of my studies and life. And finally, I'll also speak briefly on a very important topic that everyone can relate to, which is about setbacks, about failures, about how these things can impact us negatively and how we have to rise and overcome these setbacks. So can we move on to the next slide? Thank you. So it is general knowledge, it is very basic knowledge that great comes from good foundation. Every strong structure, every strong infrastructure, the Parthenon in Greece, the Eiffel Tower in Paris, they are beautiful, magnificent structures, very, very magnificent buildings that have stood for a very long time because they have very good foundations in architecture. This is for us in English. If we want to do well in English, we have to have a very good foundation. And this foundation does not mean you start in your early life, you start at a young age, then you will have the foundation. If you start right now, you start tomorrow, you can still have this foundation as long as we are committed towards it. So why do I say what is my number 1 pro tip for building a foundation? I think it's very simple. It is everything to do with reading, general reading, wide reading, in-depth reading on a single topic. It is very important to us. and why is reading important. Because reading, it expands our vocabulary, introduces us to new words, to new phrases, to new ways of writing that we may have not learned before. It also allows us to recognize proper grammar, how to write sentences, and it will help us to identify whether a sentence is right or a sentence is wrong just by looking at it due from our experiences through reading. And this is not a one-day thing. It is not you read a book today and you become brilliant at English the next day. It is a lifelong process that you continue adding value to your knowledge, adding value to your mastery of the English language. And finally, I think most important thing about reading is it is not just about mastering your English. It is very much about enriching your lives and your other aspects of your studies and your knowledge in general. Because we cannot remember what we do not know, right? If you are studying for an exam, you're studying biology, you're studying about the anatomy of your skin cells. If you do not know what forms this skin, what is in the skin cells, what makes the skin structure so strong, so solid, we will not know how to memorize, how to understand this thing, right? So it's very important that we know something before we start to remember it. And this applies for almost everything, including English. So now I want to talk about how parents and students alike can actually form this foundation, how they can start building this foundation. So for me, back when I was very young, I loved to listen to stories. This was probably when I was 4 years old, very, very young, still in the infancy of my academic knowledge. And I'm very thankful that my mom actually, she spent time with me to read to me. She's not an English educated person, but took down the time. She still took the effort to actually read stories to me before bed, to actually just tell me stories. And back then, very popular was all this Disney fairy tales, all those books by Enid Blyton. She just read stories to me when I was still at an age where I couldn't, actually read for myself. And this was what formed the basis of my interest in my proficiency today. It's very much because of my interest in stories that I decided that I wanted to read these stories by myself. As I want to grow up. I want to read more stories. So the words get harder and harder. Nothing gets easier as we age. So for myself to immerse myself in these stories, I had to also improve my English proficiency, which was what I did. And this is very important because if you all want your child, your kids, or maybe you have siblings or anything that you want them to get interested in English, you must form that interest on something that is not systematic, not academic structured. It's not like, oh, I want to do this for an exam, I want to do this to pass the test, to pass Muet, to pass an IELTS test. No, it is something from an innate interest to actually get them, passionate about this subject and stuff like that. And beyond reading books, we can explore different avenues. Today, we are living at age 2021 is very much different from 2001 when I was still very young. And today, we live in an age where videos and a lot of this media are available online. And one I would recommend is TED by YouTube, through YouTube. We can watch a lot of videos, a lot of informative videos, and not just about learning words. We can also watch the visuals and just give them an idea on how to visualize stuff and imagine stuff. And this helps us to go beyond the magic of television and CGI. Words, they can help someone to go beyond this, go beyond something that we see. So with the help of TEDx, we can actually just help our child today with the help of technology. We can incorporate this desire to learn more with our imagination. And one thing we can do is we can buy our siblings, buy ourselves, buy our kids, storybooks, novels. Not everyone responds well to stories. Everyone loves television. And we want to, instead of just watching television, we want to actually use storybooks and words to, make them think, make them immerse themselves in these stories. Can I have the next slide, please?
Okay.
So reading allows us explore worlds with different possibilities, and it's something beyond, far and beyond. That's why I really, really encourage reading as a foundation, as a basis, form proficiency and interest, something innate that helps us, propels us forward in our goal to achieve better mastery. Next slide, please. Right now, we get into the heavyweight part. We're going to talk about trusting the process. We're going to talk about the process, what I actually did to, just formulate, after all those foundations that I built, what did I actually do to help myself even more in terms of getting more proficient in the language, in terms of mastering the language even further. So it's very important that we, next slide please.
Okay.
Right. So it is very important that we actually make a conscious effort. To practice. It can be a regimen, it can be a daily thing, it can be something that you have planned out, or it can be something that's natural, something that you pay attention to doing when you are, having a conversation, writing a text to someone, writing an email to a friend. It can be something systematic, it can be something natural, but practice makes perfect. And you want to practice, they'll be perfect. So two things that I want to share that I did to actually improve my speaking confidence, my speaking ability, and also my writing ability. For us, right, it is natural that we aren't born with confidence. We were born helpless, we were born innocent, pure, just a little baby when we were born. And confidence doesn't come naturally. Confidence comes when we build it, when we make effort to, gain it. So how do we do that? What I recommend is the 2-minute short. So the 2-minute short is actually sort of a self-speaking kind of thing. So what I did was I stood in front of a mirror, and in front of the mirror, I spoke about any topic for 2 minutes a day. So it could be like today, I'm going to just tell myself about football. So I'm going to tell everything I know about football. I'm going to talk to myself in the mirror. And at the same time, this helps me build confidence slowly, as well as develop good micro expressions, which include pacing my words, how fast I speak, how slow I speak, when I should slow down, stop, pause, and also as well as making eye contact with the audience. I know right now it's an online thing, so eye contact is very much, something that we cannot feel, but we still want to make good eye contact with our audience when we're speaking live to people. And also body movement. How do you encourage a positive body movement to the audience that shows that we as a speaker are engaging with our audience? This is very important when we are speaking to people. We want to make them feel like we are engaging with them, we are relatable to them in many sorts of ways. And remember, what is the point? The point is to speak in front of the mirror on any topic at all, anything at all for 2 minutes a day. Right? It can be anything. You can start today, you can start tomorrow, but make sure you start. You try, you start, you continue, and slowly by slowly, you'll see yourself becoming more confident in class. You will speak up. You will when your teacher asks a question, you will, just, all right, teacher, I think this is that, and so on. And the next thing that I want to really recommend is, people don't put emphasis on this because they think they're writing for themselves, they're speaking to themselves. So I want all of us to actually put ourselves in the reader's shoes, kind of like when you're writing, doesn't matter if it is a story, it is a professional essay, you are writing for someone to read. You're not writing just for yourself. So you want to put yourself in the reader's shoes, right? We want to have it. And when we do this, we put ourselves in a different perspective. And this teaches us to speak and write with added value. We ask ourselves this question when we are writing. How will our readers react to what we are saying? How will our readers feel when they are reading our work? Will they feel angry? Will they feel, very scared if you're writing a horror short? Will they feel, motivated when they finish reading a story? Yeah, so this is what we want. We want to convey a message, an idea to our readers. To do that, we have to put ourselves in our readers' shoes and, just kind of think of what is the best way for me to write an essay that will capture their hearts and their attention. So again, why should we do this? It helps us to streamline our ideas, and when we streamline our ideas, we don't go off topic. We don't go off the topic. We don't talk about food and suddenly go and talk about sports. We talk about food, we go all the way about food. And we want to convey the message clearly to our reader or listener. And this is a very important thing when we want to excel in our English writing and speaking, especially when we are doing exams. Examiners, they are very, very particular about reading the message of the essay, and they want you to be very clear on what they are writing. And how can we do this? Thing number one, we have to really, really listen to what our lecturers and teachers are speaking about, what they're teaching. And this is very important for those that haven't taken their Muet and they want to take their Muet, because I think in Muet writing, in section A, for format writing, there are certain tips and tricks towards getting a high score. And many creative writers, they tend to struggle because they do not listen to the lecturers. For me, I paid attention to what Madam Madeline was teaching me back then. And yeah, it really helped me get a good score for my format writing. I initially struggled with when we had small class and stuff like that. And other things that you can actually do is to pay attention when people are speaking. Pay attention when having conversations, show positive body language, or think about what I'm telling you, what is their opinion on this stuff. This will help you gain knowledge when you have conversations. And again, reading. Reading again puts you as another writer. And when you read that writer's work, you'll get an idea of, why do I like his work? Why is Harry Potter so famous? Why is Lord of the Rings so famous? Because they capture the reader's imagination in the world of magic, in the world of fantasy. Okay, so let us move on to the next part. I'm going to talk a bit about how we can, format our essay in any circumstances, whether it may be, a professional essay, a normal essay, or a story. So what I like to practice is head, body, and feet concept in both speaking and writing. So many people may start to realize, or they have realized long ago, that speaking and writing, they're actually the same thing. They consist of words, they consist of content, all sorts of stuff that you want to convey a message to the reader or the listener. And it is very important that we have the head, the body, and the feet. So what is the head, body, and the feet? It is actually the introduction, the content, and the conclusion of our essay or speech. So why do we actually section our speech or our essays towards these three things? It is because we want to tell the reader, I want you to read my content, my writing, my work in a very smooth flowing way. It's a very free flowing, smooth way. And we want to know from the beginning, we want our readers to know from the beginning to the end what we are trying to tell. And again, it helps align our ideas so that we do not stray away from the topic or the main idea. This is very important in exams. In exams, I recommend coming up with a head, body, and feet outline, a 5-paragraph outline before you actually start writing the essay. So with all the ideas in your head, it is very easy for us to go off course or off topic. So if we are to practice this, we have to practice the outlines and stuff like that. It will help us stay focused on our goal. And one way of us to actually improve our head, body, and feet concept is to actually get to writing essays, writing practices. First of all, perhaps y'all can, just go paragraph by paragraph. You don't have to write a full essay at your first try. You try paragraph by paragraph, and then you start to develop a style of writing. What is your style writing? What is your way of telling the reader your message? So when you develop a style, you'll find yourself very comfortable with writing a full essay within the stipulated time. And this is very important in exams. Again, if you are, you have time constraints, but you know what you're doing, and then you will have no problem doing that. You will have no problem completing within the stipulated time. And some of the things that I would recommend for a content body, pay attention because I didn't write this down, would be, first of all, we want to have the topic sentence in the content. Topic sentence is the main point, what you're trying to tell in that paragraph, the main point, one sentence, something like that. And we will next have the explanation. We want to explain a bit about the point. and you want to elaborate after the explanation. So explanation and elaboration, there is a very distinct yet similar function to the both of them. You could say that the elaboration is actually an explanation of the explanation. We want to explain why our explanation is such, and that is why it is called elaboration. And one more thing is to include examples. Include examples that are relatable to people, real world news, real world events, and when you include stuff like that, it adds value to your work. It adds value to your work, and we can repeat this. We repeat the explanation, elaboration, example thing until we feel like the essay, the paragraph, that content paragraph is very packed. Okay, we are pleased with it, and then you write a closing sentence. Very important again that we write a closing sentence at the end of every paragraph. You want to round off simply like, what is this paragraph about? I'm writing this paragraph because of this. Okay. And another thing that I want to share with you all, if you are stuck with ideas during an exam or any time when you're writing or speaking, use the WWH technique. The WWH consists of the what, the why, and the how. So I'm using this right now as I speak to you guys. So when I'm stumped for ideas, I suddenly have nothing to say. I think to myself, what is this topic helping us with? How can my listeners just carry out this activity to improve their English? Okay, why is this English important? Why is English important? Why is doing this an important aspect in improving our English? Okay, so we're gonna go to the next slide. All right, hold on a minute. Yeah. So, direction and discipline. My final advice for going through the process, going through the works, going through the motions is you want to picture a goal, you want to picture an end. You can see yourself standing there at the end goal and what you want to achieve, right? So what you want to achieve, you will achieve by preparing well, by doing everything you could possibly do to just work towards that goal. And there will be moments when you feel down, you feel tired, you lack motivation, and that is where discipline comes in. That is where discipline comes in. You tell yourself you've been working on it from the beginning. Are you gonna give up now? Are you gonna, just let your effort from day 1 to day 200 just go to waste like that? Why give up now when you can, next go for that one last set of words or phrases, And this plays very much to discipline and mentality. Okay? So when we prepare well, we'll self-belief doing well. I know nerves are very normal when we are preparing for an event, we're preparing for an exam. Right now, before this, I think I was very nervous. I was very, shaky. I felt very nervous, like, oh shit, am I gonna do well? Am I gonna, screw up, do something badly during the interview, during the talk? But I've done my homework. I've prepared stuff for this talk with you all today, and I was, despite feeling nervous, my self-belief and my prep work, they overcome that nervousness. And this is what I want you guys to actually feel when y'all want to do an exam. If y'all have prepared well, I want y'all to believe that y'all can do it, and believe self-confidence plays a big role in expressing your ability to the right. So finally, we are going to talk briefly about failure. Let me get the next slide.
Okay.
Okay, just hold on. I'm going to charge my laptop for a bit.
Hold on for a while.
All right, sorry guys, just plugging in
It's
my
okay.
webcam.
It's okay.
Gave me a bit of breather, so after talking for so long.
All right.
Right, so failure. Right, failure is a very uncomfortable topic. Failure is something everyone will experience. Everyone will experience failure in some form. And I want to tell you all this one very important thing. It is however much failure scares us, and however much this fear of failure is, constantly on the backs of our spines, we mustn't let it affect us, because there's always something else to work for. All right. So failure is not final. It is never final. For me, I've experienced failure in many, many different settings. And I want to tell you all this. In my first semester in university, I actually had to go through a course called English Presentation Skills. It was a Band 5 to Band 6 course in the University of Malaya. And I was very, very shocked and surprised after the course when I saw my grade. I actually got an A minus. Some of you may think that it was, a good grade lah. Regardless, A minus not bad lah, still an A, right? But for me, it was a big shock. It was a big disappointment, And that was just like 6 months after scoring one of the best results in Muet in that year itself. I was very shocked. I was very down. I was very, demotivated. There were all sorts of feelings going through my mind at the time. There was regret, there was guilt, there was anger. Did I not do enough? Not prepare well enough. But at the end of the day, there was something else to work for. I had English presentation in the first semester, and writing in the second semester. So I learned from our failures in the first semester. I knew that university English and I had to work hard. I had to work really hard. I had to really put effort into what I wanted to do. So during my second semester, I told myself I had to be focused. I couldn't just fool around with English. It's not an English subject. It's not an easy subject, and I wanted to do better. And this is very important. Your will, your want to do better, that want to do better kind of feeling is very important. Okay, after getting a bad grade, after getting a bad result, hey, it's all right, man. That's in the past. And now we want to focus on what we can do in the present so that we look forward to what is in our future. Right? So very, very important that failure is not final. Every time we stumble upon a block in our lives, we actually learn something new. We learn something new, and we shouldn't let that failure put us down. We want to actually use it as a learning curve to actually, propel ourselves to greater heights. Use it as an experience to build our mentality, to build our character. And how we bounce back is a strength of character, is a skill as well. Right? So let's move on to the next slide. A bit of a roundup of failure.
Next slide, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
So, like I said, very, very simple thing. Just keep this in your mind. Every time we fail, we want to learn. We learn something. We want to improve. We will improve with the right amount of work, with the right direction, with the right goals in our mind. And then we bounce back. And when we bounce back, that feeling is the best feeling that you will ever have. Not success, but to bounce back after. That is the best feeling. I promise you that you'll feel after, you actually get to that point. And I will finally go to the last slide, the final slide, as we round up on what I've been talking about today in hopes of, just some takeaway messages for you guys. Next slide, please.
One.
Okay, so finally, what are some of the take-home messages? So, try, really, really try, At the beginning, your effort, your work is going to count a lot when you are doing something new. You must have, the right courage, the courage to explore different avenues of learning. Don't restrict yourself to things that, you are comfortable doing in your safe zone, in your comfort zone. Don't restrict yourself to doing stuff like that. Explore different things that you want to do. And this is not just English, I feel like I'm not good enough in speaking, so I only stick to writing. That is not true. That is not true. That is what I want to learn also from today, that I did not do well for my presentations back then, and I want to do better in my presentation today. So that is a very important thing, to actually get out of your comfort zone and to try new things. And again, it's not just to improve your English. It is something to improve different aspects of your life as well. It's just how you incorporate that. And next, we're going to talk about trust. Trust who? Trust yourself. Trust your effort. Trust your work. You know, there is this self-belief and motivation is very, very important if you want to realize our potential. Your effort pays, our effort pays. You know, hard work has never let anybody down. You may not see it today, you may not see it at your lowest points in life, but one day you will. You will see your effort bear fruit. And you know, one of the best examples is Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. He failed so many times. He went around peddling fried chicken in his neighborhood, failed to find a buyer for his first 1,000 pieces or so. But he finally did, and his success was immeasurable. Today, KFC is a global brand, and we can incorporate what he learned, what he experienced into what we do today. We trust ourselves, we trust our product, we trust our work. And finally, track our progress. We have to be consistent, we have to be disciplined, we have to always keep in touch with our goals and what we are doing to achieve our goals, what is our progress. Are we doing today? What we are doing today is better than what we were doing a week ago. Is the essay we are writing today much better compared to the essay we were writing last week? And yeah, so that's it for me. And I want you all to take these 3 words home and start on something that you want to do, that you have been thinking about doing for very long but haven't done yet. And this can be in English or in any other subject, in any other aspect. Just try something new. Trust yourself when you are engaging in that new stuff, and track your progress to ensure that at the end of the day you will achieve what you want to achieve. And thank you very much. I hope I've helped each of us gain some insights on some of the skills that I've used over the years to achieve my proficiency in English, and I'm still learning. Again, lifelong learning, very important. And thank you very much, guys. Now we move on. I pass the floor to my lecturers. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Zi. After so many years, never failed to surprise me. I'm impressed on how well you actually developed throughout these years. And I think, yeah, your sharing was very inspirational. And I believe that many of the audience here they also want to be like you. Okay. Yeah, there's one comment. If I saw this earlier, I would have gotten a band 7 in Muet. Okay. Yeah, I am very sure this will definitely help your juniors to score better in their Muet. Okay. Maybe not for this batch because they have gotten their Muet result. They have just gotten their Muet result. But don't worry. Okay. This will definitely be something that useful for the other juniors in the coming batch. Okay. Well, just a very simple summary of what I have gotten from Ziyi's speech just now. It was very inspiring. I would like to say that you have to start from a foundation. You have to have a strong base of foundation. Start reading when you were young. Okay, maybe if you have not been reading enough, you can start now. It's never too late, right, Ziyi? Okay, and you need to have a good understanding of what you do and what you read, isn't it? Okay, and I am impressed on the process stage that you made. Okay, about making efforts, the 2 method that you applied in your life, the 2-minute shots and reader's use. And I hope for the coming batch of students or whoever is going to have Muet later, they can practice this in their writing and their speaking. Okay. And last but not least, failure is not final. You just need to be disciplined, keep trying, and trust yourself, and make sure that you track your progress. Okay. All right. Ziyi. Yeah, many of the comments said that they are motivated now. Okay. And I believe there are more students who wanted to watch this, but unfortunately, they are having class now. But I think it's never a problem. If they would like to ask question, I will just get them to type in the chat box and I'll get to you. And would you respond to that?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We are still opening up for Q&A session. Is there any questions from the audience? Okay. Is there any questions?
So far, there's no questions.
All right. So, Zhi, any last word? Anything you want to say to the audience?
Yeah, I just take home and think about it. Think about what I've said today, and just try to work on something new. Take home the messages and try to work on something new. Because everyone is learning every day. I'm also learning every day. It's a very important thing. As we continue learning, we will, just learn new stuff as we go along the way.
Yeah, very true. Oh, well, before we end the session, I would like to show you again the moment when Ziyi received his award, okay? Because I think just now the intro was quite fast. So, Madam Cha, would you put this on the screen?
Okay. Have you
Okay.
All right.
So just a flashback on what Ziyi has done. I mean, his achievement on the award. Okay. So it was given. The award was delivered by Dr. Masli Malik, right, Ziyi? It is such a memorable moment, right? Okay, and in the picture, what you see are those award winners. Okay. Okay, and some pictures with Madam Chua, his mother, and our former director of KMNS, okay, and also with that Dr. Masli Malik. Okay. And this is where he received, okay, the moment he received the award. Okay. So Ziyi had gotten 269 score over 300 score. Okay. So he was an excellent user. Okay. Band 6 achiever, the top students in the whole nation matriculation, and also awarded with National Top Students Award. Okay, so that's an achievement that I think I myself as Ziyi's teacher, I am still feeling proud until today. I will never forget. Okay, all right. Madam Cha, is there any more questions from the audience?
No.
Okay.
There's no questions, but many of his supporters.
Oh, you got a lot of supporters.
Yeah. Ziyi supporters.
Yeah. Oh, so proud of you. Okay, so these are the supporters. And some of your supporters see you as a role model. Okay. And yeah, I am inspired by you too. So as a teacher, I'm learning from students. Not only that, I learn how to teach better. I learn how to deliver better. And of course, I learn how to become a better human being and be successful in whatever things I do. I am inspired. Okay. Thank you so much, Ziyi. Right, your supporters started to set up a team for you, Team Chan. Okay, all right. So I think let's end the session. Madam Chan, is that okay?
All right, so we shall end the sessions.
Yeah.
Which
with Yeah, with God's grace, we are all done with the sharing session of Wow Factor of Muet Top Scorer. So again, we have learned a lot from Ziyi about how to be excellent in English language. Okay, congratulations to those who have been following our session from the beginning to the end. And thank you so much, Ziyi, for sharing such an inspiring session. We hope you will continue to prosper and be successful in your future undertaking. As for those out there, the audience out there, keep brushing up your language ability, and you will also be as successful as Ziyi, perhaps. Okay, and I would like to say good luck to everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Thank you,
Bye bye,
Ziyi.
Ziyi.
Thank you, Madam Cha.
Bye bye, Madam Madeline. So we will end our broadcast now. Have a nice day, everybody.